What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Smoke Room. It's good to see y'all again. Last time we were up in Nashville, but today we are back in the original spot, back in the Smoke Room. I'm feeling great. Excited about this podcast we got today. This is a podcast that I've been wanting to do for a while. And today I got my brother Big Smoke in the building.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Nate? How are you, brother?
Fucking great, dude. It's great to have you on here.
Dude, it's absolutely amazing to be on this podcast today.
And I know we did a little bit of a part one originally.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
But I think we didn't get into a lot of the stuff that I was interested in talking about.
Oh, most definitely. I'm excited for it. Yeah. Real excited.
So, I guess I'll start off with family.
Mm-hmm.
And how close you are with them, and
Yeah.
kind of go through from when you were younger till
Mm-hmm.
now and your relationship with them.
Love that question. So, my family, I've grown up with a very close family. I don't tell my parents everything per se, but I do. I love them. They've always been there for me. My parents support me. Every decision I've had in my life, schooling, grades, they've always pushed me. Everything I've done. Growing up, I start off where I was born, Jacksonville, Florida. I was born in Jacksonville, yeah. That's where I started off.
And how long were you out there?
Till I was about 7 years old. Don't know the exact year off my head, but I know I was about 7 when I moved down to Columbia. My dad got a job down here, working as a gastroenterologist, hepatologist, all that good stuff, teaching.
Whoa. Yeah.
Some crazy good stuff.
Did you guys move for his job?
Pretty much, yeah. He was happy about the environment, happy about the schooling. They looked into everything here, and we're like, that's where we want to have our family and start our kids and all that. And so
do you remember anything from Florida? Not to cut you off.
No, not at all, to be fully honest with you. I will always see pictures, memories, parents will tell me about it, but I have no memory in my head of when I was in Florida, which it sucks, but I've always enjoyed my life here in Columbia. It's a good area. It's a good environment for sure. Growing up here since I was 7, I went to a couple elementary schools. I went to 2, and then went to Gentry Middle School.
Gentry Middle School.
Gentry Middle School, and then went to RockBridge High School. Enjoyed all of it here.
Well, dude, I'd love to stop and talk about RockBridge for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Your involvement with their football program.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, I absolutely loved RockBridge football program there. I played football since I was in 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
So pretty much getting started with Gentry, and then being brought up to high school freshman year, being put on varsity by the end of my year, which was phenomenal for me, being able to have that environment, being able to be playing with seniors and a lot of bigger guys than me, a lot of more educated guys than me in football.
Right.
Was a very building experience and a very unique experience for me, because it really brought my passion to football. And all throughout high school, I would be like, school, football, that's what I'm doing, you know?
So what percentage of time did it take up in your daily routine, you think?
I would say it was all my morning, so majority of my morning time, and then after that, class all day, then after that, practice.
Another practice, yeah. So you were always in the morning workouts and all that sort of thing.
Yep, that 0-hour classes, we called them, and it'd be like 6 a.m. classes, lifting and conditioning.
Right.
Pain in the ass, but I'm telling you, so worth it. So worth it in the long run. It genuinely made me want to go on into college to play football, but through losing weight, I wasn't able to have that experience anymore. But we'll talk on that some more for sure.
Yeah, so let's get into that now, I think, because the weight thing was, I mean, that affected your professional football
100%.
drive.
100%. So end of my junior year, I'm very comfortable with sharing this. I was very heavy. I was in my 300s plus. I played offensive line. I got moved to my center. I played tackle, left tackle, all through high school, all through middle school.
Yeah.
And senior year, played center. That's where I knew the scholarships were going to get me, because I'm not tall. I'm not big to play tackle for college at anywhere. So I knew a center, I would be able to have more scholarship opportunities. So that's where I decided to push myself in that position, push myself in everything towards that. really work and grind. And that's when they started coming in my senior year, when I started to get those starting opportunities at center. And they saw, okay, he can actually play center, and he's been playing tackle all his career pretty much.
Right, so you had experience to back it up.
Right, exactly.
You probably had some good footwork by then. You was moving motherfuckers around.
Oh yeah, I was decently quick for my size, and that's what I think was my advantage. I was quicker than other bigger guys for say on my feet, which gave me a significant advantage. But I enjoyed it. Getting those scholarships really helped me out, gave me a really boost in my mentality for sure.
And your confidence, I bet.
100%. 100%. And then my dead set was UCM. I'm telling you. I was going to go to the University of Central Missouri. That was my number one schooling here in high school. I was wanting to go there, and I had an opportunity. I was DMing coaching staff over there, offensive line coaching staff, all that good stuff. They had me set. They wanted me at a certain weight, though. That was the thing.
Okay, they said they needed a weight standard.
Right. They wanted me at a certain weight that I was going to play center. And if it was heavier, it was okay. But I couldn't go under it. They didn't want me under that weight because that wasn't an offensive lineman's weight.
Right.
So
and you wouldn't be able to keep up with that sort of
position.
Yeah.
Against other guys for
competition.
Right.
Exactly.
Competition. So my senior year, I really started developing other issues, health issues. Actually, my heart was like having some issues with the irregular beats and stuff like that. So I would have to go get that checked out by doctors. Had to be put on a very, very, very light heart medicine, which affected me significantly in my mentality as well. And was like, do I really want to do this for the long run? Right. I was almost diagnosed with sleep apnea. I had to do several tests. Absolutely hated that stuff. I'm telling you,
Do you think that was drug related?
No, I don't think so at all, because my parents all my life, pretty much growing up when I was bigger, have always told me that I've snored and I've stopped breathing whenever I was sleeping, which is a big thing for me.
Okay.
And it's significant. And so they were like, you should get that checked out. So I'm always about my health. I want to make sure that I'm healthy no matter what. So I went and got it checked out, and they said, yeah, you got to start losing weight. Yusuf, straight up, like straight to my face. And that was like, damn. It was something like it hit me. And being a junior in college, my passion was football. Passion was playing offensive line. That's what I wanted to do in college. That's what I wanted to. That was everything I wanted to do.
Yeah, that was your track.
Right, exactly.
Up to that point.
Yeah. And then I found a workout buddy in high school. He was our old center at the time, and he was smaller than me, significantly smaller than me, but he was a great workout buddy. Pushed me to do everything in the gym and outside the gym, conditioning. We would compete together and everything, and it really drove me to be better in my mentality, as well as better with the way I look at myself as well. So I really started pushing every day, waking up earlier, changing my schedule, grinding, only eating chicken and rice, eggs. I'm sick of eggs now because of how much I've eaten eggs. I won't touch eggs anymore. Anymore because of how much eggs I would just eat, because that's how much protein it would give me. And I was seeing results from eating this and doing it, because I was every time in the past I was like trying to lose weight. Never happened. So when I was seeing the results this time come around, so, this stuff is working out. Maybe I'm going to continue. So I continued, and it continued working.
Yeah, and you kept pushing.
Kept on pushing, kept on losing weight. And so I got down to the 280s, 270s. Once I hit 260s, that's when I had to send in the weight checks. For my coaching, I would do monthly weight checks within just sending pictures of me and my boxers to a coach, one of the coaching staffs, of the scale and me on it, pretty much. That was what the whole thing was.
To your college, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And so it was like a recruiting process, pretty much. But I did that, and I sent my stats and my weight dropped within the months. And they noticed my weight dropping within the months. And so specifically UCM reached out to me over Twitter and was like, DM'd me. And that's how I was DMing their offensive line coach.
Right, so that's how you were keeping in touch.
That was my main contact with that offensive line coach.
Yeah.
So did all that. And they told me, sorry, Yusuf, you are underweight now. We cannot take you. We cannot look at you, like pretty much pursue you anymore because of this.
The weight drop.
The weight drops.
So
like,
was it, I want to say like 30 or 40 pounds that you ended up losing?
Yeah, dude. And then after that, it messed me up significantly because after that, I had other smaller colleges for say that I want, like, were in my background. I always had, those other options that I wanted to go to. My biggest one was Tennessee, but it was never anything really that significant. Went and visited their school, their program, phenomenal program. But I'm
sure their facilities are crazy.
It's mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Leaves you speechless, literally speechless.
Makes you want to work really hard.
Really hard, yeah. And then you see all the other guys working, and you're like, wow, this is your competition.
Yep, so. It's a whole different level.
Yeah, it really is. But moving on from there, I lost a bunch more weight. I got down to 225. That was the lowest I've ever been.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, phenomenal. I was very happy with myself. And then that was when I just pretty much was like, that's it. I accepted the loss of my passion in football, which sucked. But I decided, maybe there is a reason for this. There's a reason for everything. I believe God gave you, there's always a reason for everything in life. No matter what, you are going to have an end proposal, goal, everything in life. And if it's bad, it's a learning lesson or a teaching lesson. If it's good, then it's a blessing always. And that's how I think of things. And
so you think there's a predetermined path?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And that was my path in life. And I decided to come to the University of Missouri. I don't have to pay out-of-state tuition now. I am joining the greatest fraternity. And
dub.
I have the greatest group of guys, friend group ever now that I found at the University of Missouri that I've never been able to find before. Just many factors I have found here at Mizzou that I have absolutely loved. And I genuinely appreciate. And so once I came here and I saw the environment, realized what I have here, it made me, yes, I will always have that. I will never regret that I didn't go down my football path, but I will always have that in the back of my head that, I could have done that if I continued, but also I realized what was more important to me, my health. My health was very important to me. I want to be able to hold my kids one day. I want to be able to have kids one day. I want to be able to have a family one day. I want to be able to walk one day when I'm older. I've never torn my ACL. I'm in my entire offensive line, majority of my guys have had knee issues, ankle issues. Only thing that's ever happened to me is toe issues.
Probably one of the few centers that can say that.
Yeah. And I am beyond blessed to say that. And they told me the percentages of offensive linemen in college and how the injury percentage, and you learn this stuff as a recruit. They tell you all this information whenever you're in the recruiting process. This is the percentage of injury. This is who's on the injury reserve lists. They give you all that information, and you look at it. Yep. Some people don't even care. Some people will genuinely take the time to look at it. And it's majority offensive linemen with knee issues or back issues, shoulder issues. I thought about that to myself also, I'm losing weight. Do I want to go through that also in my life? Like I said, my end goal, I want to have a family. I've always wanted to have a family. I want to have a large family.
Whoa. Yeah, so multiple kids.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I've always wanted to have a big family. I think that comes from my dad and my mom both coming from huge families. 6+ brothers and sisters on both of the sides.
I'm surprised you don't have more siblings then.
Yeah, I only have a little brother that is so much taller than me. Yeah, but I definitely want to have a big family in my future for sure. But my life has been amazing through football, through college, through everything so far. I've been very grateful for everything, and my process, like I said, everything's meant to be for a reason. Learning lessons, all that teaching lessons. It's genuinely, I think, going through what I've gone through has made me the person I am today. Yeah. Because I've gone through that struggle. I've gone through that pain, the sacrifice, the realization of, yeah, you're going to lose things in life, not everything you're going to get in life. And I wanted that. I wanted something so bad in high school, and I realized, you don't get everything in life. And
and that process definitely shapes you.
For sure.
Anything you go through, it's going to change you in some mental way.
For sure.
And even like you're saying with the health stuff, you may have given up that football track.
100%.
But that gain for your health and that greater future, like who knows, you probably wouldn't have ended up at Mizzou.
Right.
Your life, totally, completely different. And then now you can say, like, even when you walked in here,
right.
I'm super blessed. I'm feeling super blessed. Maybe you wouldn't have been feeling that way.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
going back, I want to go back to the family values and the want to have a family.
Yeah.
Is there other values like that your parents kind of instilled in you that you want to bring forward?
Religion, man. Religion has been another big thing in my life, significantly, that it has always been there in my life. And I've always loved talking about it. I love sharing about it. I love questions about it, about who I am, about what I believe in, and all of that. And so that is something I would always love to bring into my future and bring into my future family. One thing I've always been taught is to never push anything upon anyone. Never. And that's also comes with religion as well. And
are you talking about idealistically?
Yeah, for sure. And so I've always wanted to teach my kids and future family about the religion and never having to force them on it, and really let them know what I believe in and my passions and my beliefs from a child, and let them see that from there and realize, their father is very strong beliefs, very strong willing, and showing my characteristics, showing who I am as a person. Hopefully that will not only rub off, but will show them that, maybe this is something that I want also. I want this because not only my father has this, but also someone I look up to.
Yeah, I really like how you're saying about giving them an option.
Yeah.
Because even if you think this is what they should follow, maybe they're gonna, they'll learn about this,
for sure,
and maybe it's not their path.
100%.
But speaking for people that don't know, what religion would you be teaching them?
I would be teaching them Islam. So I am Muslim. When you're in Islam, as a person, you would they are Muslim. And so that's what I represent as myself. That's what I would be teaching them. I was born into the religion, and so I've always been taught about it. I've always learned about it all my life. I've been put in schooling, and it has been something that I have always had in my life, never fail. And so, another thing, as I've gotten older, I have had the options to explore other religions. And I've read other holy books, and I've researched about other religions. And that's one of my other favorite things to do on my free time, is just to study about what other people genuinely believe in and how they go about their daily lives in that religion.
Right, because many people will use that religion and base their whole life on
100%.
And fall, that's total mind change.
Exactly. And so for, say, like me, the 5 daily prayers, that is something that it is a 100% that many people in the religion do. And it is all based around timing and based around, you have these prayers during these exact times, and you pray them, as well as, for, say, me, in situations, I'm a student. I don't always have that free time.
Right, that extra 10 minutes.
Now that I'm in an internship, now that I'm in there, like, doing different highly studying skills in classes, in Zoom meetings, all that, being able to take that time to just 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just show grace, show that I'm grateful to God, and pray those prayers. And I don't always pray the prayers at the exact time, and that is 100% okay. That is something that I have the option as a student, because I believe genuinely that I am doing this for a greater purpose. I believe that there is only one God, and I continuously believe that throughout my life. Okay. And so I've always, I'm just trying to think where I'm going with this, honestly. Yeah, I always have been able to have that knowledge in my belief and have that understanding. And so being able to have that and being able to relate that to other people and share that with other people, share what I have knowledge on and what I practice and do during my days, do during my time that I do have that free time, and I want to show my grace. I love sharing that. I love being able
it can be powerful.
100%. 100%.
Exactly.
And not a lot of people realize that. You know, they look at you, and some people, you know, there's a saying, never judge a book by its cover. A lot of people look at me, I'm just a white boy with brown hair, blue eyes, you know, with tattoos. You would never think I am Muslim.
You're right. You'll never know you'll never know someone's religion based off just looking.
Correct. And so being able to dive in and genuinely get to know someone, it's one of my favorite things to do. And that's why I want to go down the path I'm doing with nonprofit and being able to connect with people and hopefully open my own nonprofit down the line, you know? And that's something that I haven't always wanted to do. I was down the psychology major. I've always wanted to help people in life. I've always wanted to provide for someone else other than myself, you know? I've always had it myself that growing up, I've had a phenomenal, life growing up in my childhood. I got things that I wanted and I had things I needed. I was fed, I had clothes, I had water, I had a shelter, I had schooling. I was blessed with all those opportunities, those things. And so being able to see that, recognize that, and then give that to other people that didn't get that. And that's what I've always wanted to do. Now that I've seen that and I've recognized that is one of my biggest passions now. And it's really sparked my passion within what really changed my mind about psychology. I'm going to go down this path is that medicine's phenomenal. Working with people is phenomenal. It's the knowledge about the medicine and all the different kinds of pharmaceutical drugs and all that. I'm not passionate about that. I don't want to know about that. To be fair, I could care less.
You're right.
I could care less.
Yeah.
I just want to provide help for someone. And so then I realized, this is not something I am going to put my time in. This is not what I'm going to put my efforts in. And so I decided to change my major to public administration. And I've absolutely loved every last class of it.
You found your calling. Yeah.
100% have. And so after I finish with this degree, I'm going to get my certificate in nonprofit management and then work for a nonprofit. And that is really going to help me provide help for others and just support what my morals are in life. What I've always believed in life is providing for others no matter what. Even when other people, because I've always had that great life growing up and great life through college and high school and middle school and all that good stuff. Maybe other people haven't had that.
And you want to give that to them.
And I want to give that to them. I want to be able to provide that to people like that.
Yeah. Going back to the food pantry, talk about how much happiness that brings you. And would you say that's the biggest or the most plentiful part of your week? Yeah. Honestly.
100%. So to be confidential with everything, but also straightforward, it is the greatest thing that I have done to really get the experience with working in my community and the community around me that I've never genuinely got to see before. I've lived here since I was 7 years old. I'm 20 years old right now. And I've never have seen the life around me in the community, the homelessness, the struggle, what people genuinely do go through around me that you may not see, the food insecurity. It's genuinely a big thing around us in the world. And being able to recognize that, being able to grasp that, being able to see that around me that I've never been able to see before, very eye-opening. And I have learned so much, and I've gained so much genuine, like, insight on everything about it, and it has made me more happy in game, because this is genuinely what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
I want to open my own nonprofit, help other people, hopefully even a community outreach center. I would love to do something like that. That is a passion that I would always do. I feel like I'm a people person. I feel like I'm great with communicating. I feel like I can really connect with people out there in the community and world on a different level, for say, and being able to just connect by starting a great conversation with them.
Yeah.
And even if you don't know that person, you know, being able to say, hey, how's your day going so far? That will change everything. That small start of a conversation, every single person, it's different. And it's crazy.
Exactly.
It is so crazy to just, that one little question, how in-depth someone will either give to you an answer, or it's just a small answer. And those in-depth answers are
what you live for.
I love them.
It's so cool.
Them. Yeah.
And one of the things I've always had a lot of respect about you is your compassion about everybody.
Yeah.
And one of the things I kind of want to bounce back to is while you're working and those little like in-depth or not in-depth.
For sure.
Does that always change your perspective and give you new perspectives on life?
Every single day. Literally every single day. I experience something new that I've never experienced, or I see something that I've never genuinely seen before. And it opens my eyes in greater ways than I've ever been able to. It makes me more appreciative, makes me more respect. Like, all the morals, it just fills me with joy. It's very fulfillful as a person. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about the nonprofit sector and working for the greater good, genuinely.
Right.
That's what it is.
You're not working just for the money.
No, not at all. Yeah.
And it's got to be fulfilling.
Right.
And that's been your calling too.
Correct. Yeah.
So what else did I want to go over? There's so much to unpack there.
There is. There really is.
And I'm kind of interested. Do you mind talking more about your day-to-days?
Yeah, for sure.
At work?
Yeah. So I started off as a service learning student, as a volunteer, and I really got into the program through Mizzou and having to take this as a class. And so I got to choose through all these different organizations, nonprofits, all that. I decided to choose the food bank because how genuinely it is close to me, first off. I love food, second off. It is something that it's so significant to me in my life. Also with food insecurity, being able to learn about that. And right off the bat, being taught that, it changed, like I said, it opened my mind to everything about the food banks and markets and what their purpose is, what their genuine purpose is. And so that's what kept me coming back. That's what kept me wanting to continue, is how much it is helping our community around me. And that's pushing you to want to start your own. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Every single day. Have you started thinking about how that's going to work out for you? I want to start off as a volunteer director. And so I want to find a nonprofit that I'm genuinely, just like food banks, somewhere hopefully after college where I move and find something that involves something with my passion, like these food banks, get into volunteer directing. Hopefully I can make an impact on their community. Hopefully I can make an impact on their organizations better than anyone else, hopefully, because I have very knowledgeable ideas that I can bring to organizations, for say, that other people may not have. And I would love to do that. I would love to continue my passions wherever I move, wherever I go in this area.
Do you want to end up moving out of here? Or would you like to stay in Missouri?
I want to stay in Missouri. Or
would you go back to Florida?
I thought about it. I've genuinely thought about it, but I have a lot of family in Florida. I want to live somewhere where I'm not too far from family, but it's close.
Far enough.
Far enough. Yeah. That is the best way to put it. 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, for some people that might be like, oh, that's too close. I think that's perfectly fine. Kansas City area has always been something in Missouri that I've always looked into and I've loved, and how big it is. It's a big city type of vibe, and that's how I've grown up.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
exactly. So many things to do, so many opportunities to do. My girlfriend's from there, so it tops everything even more. And that's where I want to start my life. That's where I want to start my family. That's where I want to start my career, is in Kansas City. And I hopefully throughout time I can gain experience through working at nonprofits as a volunteer director, as hopefully coordinator directors, and different field experiences as careers, and being able to gain from that. And then by the time I'm hopefully upper 30s, 40s, open my own nonprofit. Once I've figured things out, when I've genuinely have seen the insides and outs of how a nonprofit runs, I'm seeing that right now in my internship. And so being able to have that opportunity now, and then whenever I move, that is going to help me significantly in my future and what I want to do. And make my decision even easier than it is now, because then I'll have gone through it and I've thought about it even more. And by then I'll have saved, I'll have money, I'll have financial sustainability, and pretty much, and have a sustainable lifestyle, and I'll be able to, this is what is the most important thing in my life right now. This is what I want to change in my community and provide a greater understanding, a better help for. And so that's what I would love to do.
Right, and be ready for all those opportunities
100%.
in Kansas City.
Exactly.
Because I'm sure there's a plethora of options.
100%. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, it's not many people that can say they got all their shit on track.
Yeah.
So congrats to you that you're really on that path.
It took a little bit for sure. Yeah. A lot of figuring things out, a lot of thinking, a lot of talking, communication with family, friends, and just research, figuring out what I want to do with myself. And it's something that it takes some time. And I've always wanted, I'm kind of impatient. I'm an impatient person. I want things to happen quick.
Right.
And so that's the thing. I want that answer. I want something. I want a response. And so for me to go through that and realize, it's also it's growing for me, because that's how I am. I want that, but it's going to take time.
Yeah. It sounds like you're ready to get started already.
Right. Exactly. But I have so much to learn.
Right.
So much still to understand and realize. And it's so, I'm learning it now, but not everything.
Yeah.
And I want to be open to learning everything every day of my life.
That's the key. Teachability is huge.
Exactly. I want to be, what's the saying? I always heard, I want to be a sponge, or whatever, the dry sponge or whatever. Soak all
a wet sponge.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. You just want to take in as much information as possible.
As I physically can.
Knowledge is power, baby.
Exactly.
Yep. The more you know, the more you can help people.
Yep. Exactly.
Especially in your field of work.
100%. And so that's what I want to do with my life, for sure.
So were your parents any factor in that? And were they always pushing you to find your path, or were they kind of more hands off?
So, yeah, that was a good question. So my dad, he's in the med field. He's wanted me to go to the medical field. He's wanted me to go to medical school. And so for him, being able to communicate with him and tell him this is not what I genuinely would want to do, that was big for me. That was something that it was a hard talk. But getting through that, it has grown our relationship. And he's realized that this is my passion. This is what I want to do. And he's full accepting of it, which I love. And he's pushed me to even do more in my passions with nonprofit sectors and volunteer more, and showing me you can do this and you can do that option as well. So it's awesome. Nice to have that support from my parents as well, even though he may have not have foreseen that. But he has always supported me in my choices no matter what. My mom, she's always outgoing. She knows I'm going to be a people person.
Yeah.
She's always known that I'm going to work with people sometime down in my life, kids probably, or something like that. So I think the nonprofit sector really just solidifies all of that and wraps it all up in a bundle. and puts it together in a great way that I am going to be genuinely fulfilled every single day in my life. And it's something that I've wanted always, and I will always be happy about every single day. I will come home, be fulfilled. I will wake up, be fulfilled. Go to bed, be fulfilled.
Yep. Have
fun on my free time and still be fulfilled of what I'm doing in my life. And I've always, my grandpa said this, have a job that it's not really a job. It's something that you love. And a lot of people say this in the world.
Yeah, because then it doesn't become a job.
Right, exactly.
It's just fun.
Exactly. You wake up, you go to what you enjoy doing. It's not something you have a burden on to do.
Right.
And that's what I have always wanted to do. And that's, things change in life. And that is a part of it. That is growth. That is, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. And that's why finding your passion is so important.
Yep. 100%.
Because once you find that and you let nothing get in your way,
right. You're there.
every day.
Grinding.
Because it doesn't seem like you feel like there's an internal battle.
Right.
There's no internal battle. No. You say, I want to get up and do this because this is what I love.
Because you absolutely love doing it every single day of your life.
Yep. I really hope everyone I know can find that.
Me too.
Because that's the true drive.
It really is. It really is.
Because even now, I feel like you have a feeling where you could go the next 40 years of your life and if I stay in this sector, I'm going to be fulfilled.
I'm going to be happy with my life, and I'm going to be happy with what I'm doing every single day.
Right. And like we were talking about, the more you learn, the more years you put in.
Exactly.
There's nowhere to go but up.
Exactly.
And it's so cool.
I love that. Dude, I appreciate you so much, dude. That's the best way to put it. That really is the best way to put it. There's only up from now. And you can only go up. You can only learn. You can only gain experience for sure.
Exactly. If you're pushing towards that.
100%. Yeah. If you're continuously grinding and working.
Would it be too far off to say that your mom is the one that led you to have so much of that personality
100%, dude.
Between people?
Dude, I've always been told I'm a mama's boy, dude. I love my mother. I will always support her and love her, and she is my go-to. Like I said, I don't tell my parents everything, but she is the person I will always go to when I'm down, when I'm always needing someone to just chat to and just need someone to listen. She's always there, and that's phenomenal. She's always someone that you need. You always need someone to listen to. Moms are great in life, dude.
Right.
And it's phenomenal to have a great mom and push me through life, show me how to be a gentleman, how to be a great man in life as well. And my father has done that, but my mother has shown me even more. She has worked very hard for me. My mom is a stay-at-home mom. So I've seen every time I'm home, she's there working very hard, extremely hard, which I've always looked up to my mom for that.
Yeah.
She's always grinding, getting stuff that we need, taking care of us, always looking out for us and for the greater good for us as a family.
And she's given you an outlet to talk, very open, talking with her.
Always.
But also, her and your dad
100%.
have both given you a lot of great traits, it seems like.
And I've absolutely loved that, for sure.
And do you think they're doing a good job with your brother right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a good question. That's funny. I mean, I think they've realized now that they can loosen up. They can loosen up after me. They've realized that they can kind of take a step back away from everything, but also my brother's a little different. You kind of have to micromanage him a little bit.
Right. Dude, and the impression that I've gotten from your brother is he definitely is a little more independent.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he is 100% independent. He wants to do everything on his own, very entrepreneur-like, I'm going to make this, I'm going to do this myself, and that's how it's going to be, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We're different in those ways, for sure. But, my brother is great. He has a different passion in life than me, different views of life than me, and his everyday goals. And that's okay. He's 17 years old. He's growing up. He's still maturing. He's realizing a lot of things in life. And he has a lot of great opportunities right now with what he's doing in his side times and his hobbies and all that. He is very successful in what he does because he's figured out what he loves doing, and he puts time to that. He's continuously working hard, and on the side of that, he is flying airplanes. And he loves sharing videos about it, putting it out there.
Most kids his age cannot say that.
Exactly,
that is super cool.
Exactly. And it's cool to say that I have a brother that does that as well, which is pretty phenomenal.
And it seems like he's always been super productive as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He gets a lot done.
Oh, he's consistently doing something. Morning to night, his head's somewhere doing something. I got to be making money, talking, making networking, doing something. And that's where I've always seen him. As he's gotten older, it has changed. And so it's cool to see that, but also cool to recognize our differences as well.
So since he's gotten older, have you had to kind of step back as well as coming from a big brother sort of aspect? Like, did you have a big impact on his early life? How did that kind of play out?
Dude, I'm a very protective older brother. I've always been a very protective older brother. I wanted to make sure my brother's always safe. I'm always looking after my little brother.
Hell yeah.
Growing up, just a funny, terrifying story. Here at the mall, my brother is 3 years younger than me. So he would always run off, and he was very curious, doing his own thing, very individual-like. And so he would run off into the train area, into Barnes & Noble. And so
he was a runner.
He was a runner. And so I was always watching after him, taking care of him. There was a time where we couldn't find him, and I found him. And so since then, I've never let my eyes off my brother.
So where was he?
He was in the train section playing by himself in the trains when he was little.
Lost in Train World?
Yeah, and he knew every way around that place, and which is crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, he is very smart, very intelligent, very to himself, and that's okay. That is 100% okay for everyone to have in their own ways. I'm very out there, whenever I'm around there with him, he's like, Yusuf, kind of,
a little more introverted.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And he's open with that as well, and he understands that as well, too, and that's okay.
Just totally fine.
100%.
Introversion is not a problem.
Nope, never is.
Because not everyone's going to be this outgoing, extroverted,
That's not how this world is. If everyone was the same, it'd be a disaster.
And life would be boring as fuck.
It really would, yeah. But, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt. Well, and see, I'm going to kind of take a step away from the family.
Yeah,
and I know you briefly mentioned it earlier.
Most definitely, yeah.
But I would love to talk about the tattoos.
Okay, yeah, most definitely. So, I have a very big also passion for tattoos and showing your passions out, putting yourself out there. I'm a very out there person. So I get tattoos because I want to represent myself out there and let people realize that. And I've always loved inked all my life. Since I was in elementary school, I've always loved those fake tattoos. I've always looked up to WWE wrestlers with those tattoos and stuff like that. I'm big with that. And so I've always when I'm of age and I have the money and I have the time, I'm going to get me a tattoo.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Right.
And so it's very different within my family because I am the first person in my family to have tattoos.
To get tatted up, right.
And so that is a huge actually a culture shock, honestly.
How'd your parents feel about it? First,
it was a very, wow, this is actually happening. And so it was very, it wasn't, oh, I don't like them, or oh, it's bad, or anything. It was more of oh, wow, this is actually, you're getting older, and this is what you want.
Yeah, making your own decisions.
Right, exactly. And so me being able to come forward and say that to my parents and communicate with that to my parents, it has made us grow so much. And with my first tattoo, the 573, the Missouri tat, when I first got that, it was something I've wanted for a while. And I've thought about it because there's so much has happened to me, and I have a meaning for every one of my tattoos. And it could be something little it could be something very, very, very significant.
Right.
And I always, when people ask me about them, I love sharing about my tattoos. I'm not someone I want people to ask me about my tattoos, what they mean, what they are, what they're like, how does it feel, all that cool stuff.
So you're not one of the, you're not hiding them at all. Because a lot of people, they'll get tattoos and hide them under, the cusp of their shorts or cusp of a shirt.
Yeah, I'm very out there. I like people asking me questions and saying stuff about my tattoos. And like one of them, one of my biggest tattoos that it's very obvious is my snake tattoo. That is one of my tattoos that a lot of people actually recognize.
That bitch is wild. I wish the camera could see this.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool tat.
No doubt.
But I always get asked why a snake tat, and it's because, very interesting to some people, it is my greatest fear. One of my greatest fears is snakes. Okay. I am absolutely terrified, and what I mean by that, I have had dreams, I've had experiences with snakes that have absolutely terrified me.
So you're having nightmares about them.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And growing up, since I've lived in Florida, there are several experiences with large snakes as well.
Right.
And I have some crazy stories as well with me growing up and living by like areas where alligators are and marsh anacondas and stuff like that. And so there was an instance, for say a little side story, in Jacksonville when I was very, very, very young that I don't even remember. My parents have told me this story. I was out playing in the backyard of one of our first ever houses. I was very young. I don't even remember the age. And a very large anaconda, very, very, very large anaconda comes out of wherever it was located, out of the water, out of the wildlife, and I was out there playing by myself, and my parents were just kind of talking to themselves. And so it was very terrifying for them. And so them seeing that and everything and them telling me that story, nothing happened. It was just messing with it and everything. I was very out there touching things, nature, right, all that stuff that had no clue what it was. Just something.
Kind of like that classic kid ignorance.
Right,
like,
exactly. You're so young, you don't like, and so it terrifies parents. Like if my kid, I'm like, oh my God, no way. Like freaked out. And so it's just like, that has been such a big fear for my parents, and them telling me that story has freaked me out. All my life has freaked me out. And also my brother owning a snake. My brother owns a snake.
Oh, so your brother was just rubbing it in.
Oh, for sure. One of my biggest fears, I'm telling you. We have a banana ball python, and it's all white with a touch of yellow. Touch of yellow, has different spots. Beautiful snake, I will say, but I won't touch it. I will look from a distance, from a far,
so you won't go near it. You won't even feed it or nothing.
I don't even want to watch when it's fed. I don't want to watch when it's fed. I don't want to go near it when it's open. I am terrified. I'm absolutely terrified around snakes. No way. And so when they first brought it home, I was, oh my God. I remember how terrified I was.
Yeah, you're like, is this a cruel joke?
This is actually happening to me right now. Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, but snakes have always been something. And also when it goes to religion as well for me, this has always been something, and you would never even think about it. How snakes, religion, what? Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve with the devil and with the snake tempting Adam with the apple.
Right.
And God saying, don't eat the apple. That is a story that is a very in-depth, amazing, phenomenal story that I've always loved listening to, hearing about on the Bible, Quran, religions, all that stuff. It goes both ways. And so that is something, a fear has been in humanity, I think. Snakes, just from how religion
portrayed them. Right.
They're the devil in a way, almost. Mm-hmm. And so it creates such a high fear in people and things.
A severe stigma.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And so that is something that I've always, like, that is the deep side of my fear of things with snakes, is the temptation and how, I believe in jinn. I don't believe, like when I mean like jinn, like ghosts. I believe in that stuff. I believe in spirits. I believe in that type of environments and how they can like not overtake, but for say become in different figures and different forms. That's all in the Quran and Bible and stuff like that.
Like taking a host sort of thing?
For sure, yeah. And so that is something, it grows my fear even more, for sure.
Yeah.
And
but going back to your snake tattoo,
Yeah.
there's a dual meaning then.
Yep.
Because you got a religion side of it,
100%.
but also a personal fear.
Yep, 100%.
That's super cool.
100%, yeah. And so that's why whenever people ask, it's like, oh, I have so much to say about that. You know, like there's so much I could be just talking about my fears and how I have dreams and several hundred, like so many. And like another thing, I love writing down things that I have thought about. Some things I will forget. I like remembering things and writing them down. I love doing that and keeping it in a memory box. Letters, cards, memories, anything written, anything my parents have given to me years and years and years. I keep always. I don't get rid of
memory
them.
box.
I have a box in my room I will never ever get rid of
Yeah.
years and years and years and years and years of worth of memories. I've always kept that. And I've always loved being able, because one day I want to be able to show my family one day that. I want to be able to show those letters that my parents have wrote to me when I was super young.
Yeah.
And being able to look back on that for, say, like when they do pass and things happen in life. And being able to have those memories, those pictures, those every single thing that I've kept. And I've realized it's just something that is going to help me for my future and be able to show to my family and be able to just have that to relate to people, you know?
Yeah.
And I've always loved that.
It's like a scrapbook concept.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
And the more stuff you save, the more stuff that you can show someone down the road.
Always. I love pictures. I love memories. That is what brings happiness, I think. I think memory, it's something that when you think about good memories, bad memories are something that you can always think about and learn from, you know? You can be like, oh, I had a bad memory, you know, how can I get better from this? Or what can I do to change this in ways that I've, you know, and that's just who I am, you know, it may not be for everyone in ways, but I've always wanted to better myself in greater ways and always think of how can I be better mentally and physically, and how can I help other people by doing that around me in ways. So how can I provide help also to other people while providing that for myself? Because you can't just give.
Nope.
Yeah, no, it's
not how it works.
You're going to tire yourself out, and it's rough. And so for me, being able to take time for myself, being able to spend time with my girlfriend, being able to watch wrestling, that's a huge passion of mine and hobby. I love WWE. I love wrestling. Love watching it. Being able to just take free time and just watch the storyline. Watch something that I've always been interested in since I was a kid, and collected wrestling figures and all that, and action figures and all that really fun stuff that I have had a big passion about as well.
Yeah. So I would love to hear that side of your life, dude.
Yeah.
Go into that and how you got started in it.
Yeah, so WWE, I'm trying to think. It was for sure family members on my mom's side. My mom's older sister, she watched WWE, and it was all the Hulk Hogan, older time wrestlers, Bruno Sammartino, all those times. Great times. And then being able to grow up as a kid, my parents were fully supportive. Like, they were never like, oh, this is too action, this is too much.
Or too violent.
No.
Yeah.
They honestly were kind of oblivious. a little bit, in a way, but
so
it's
okay.
Well,
they didn't know what WWE was.
No, to be honest with you, no. They just thought it was wrestling. That's it. They didn't know about the promos, the storylines, the extreme matches, the blood, all that.
Right.
They didn't know about that, you know?
And they didn't need to know.
They didn't know. Yeah, exactly. And so I've always been into watching that stuff. It has always been something that I've been interested in. I've collected wrestling figures. That was something that when I was little, I wanted to do, because I would watch it and I'd be like, oh, I really like this person. And I'd have this favorite person for like a week. And then the next week I'd have this favorite person.
Right.
And so I'd be like, I love that stuff. And so being able to do like chores around my house to get a wrestling figure, or bring back a grade report, and all A's, I get a wrestling figure. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I
the
love
best
that.
incentive ever.
It really was, and my parents supporting me with that, and it was phenomenal.
Do you remember watching the first tapes?
No.
Your first tape?
No, I've watched it for so long. I don't remember the first time I've watched it.
Would you watch them with your family, or was it kind of more your thing?
It was with me and my little brother.
Okay.
I got my little brother into it even younger than I was. And so, which was even more, because me and him wrestled. Me and him brought the wrestling into our home. And it would always say, do not
sure your parents were happy about
do
that,
at home. Do not. I do it at home for
Don't
sure.
try this at home.
Do not try this at home. Yeah. Always tried it at home.
Well, a little smaller brother, too, probably kicked the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you ever try to reenact shit that you saw like the night before?
Oh my gosh, yeah, choke slams on pillows, dude. Choke slams.
Your mom's like, what the hell is going on?
Putting on shows for my family, dude. I'm telling you, it was some great times for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, me and my brother. And then whenever my cousins moved from Canada to America, they lived with us for a while. We got them into WWE. We got them into wrestling, me and my brother, when we were little. And so then we would have fatal 4-ways. It sounds crazy.
Yeah, see,
wrestling matches for fake titles. And so we would get those fake titles and put on a show for my uncle, aunt, and my family. And so we would like have it scripted out. You are going to win. And we're just going to play it out and everything and act like we're hitting each other and actually wrestling. And we'd pick up a sweat and it would be so much fun. And then we had like an intercontinental fake title or a U.S. fake title.
Yeah.
Now I've actually owned a United States like replica, which I've worked for and I love because... Have you seen that title I have in my room?
I think I have, yeah.
Beautiful title. I love the United States Championship. That is a title I've always, from the wrestling company, I've liked. But anyway, yeah.
So you guys had the little 4-way fight,
right?
For whoever had the belt.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. We'd always run that stuff like that with my cousins, with my little brother, tag team matches, and just make it fun and stuff like reenact the wrestling environment and stuff like that. And so that's what my growing up life was. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we never got hurt. We never got hurt.
By the grace of God.
By the grace, literally, yeah.
Because there was probably some times you were
crazy, moves.
throwing the elbow. Yeah, exactly.
Off the couch.
Exactly. Yeah. So how did that translate into the UFC?
So,
because I know they do kind of go hand in hand, but it is a totally separate sport.
So once I got older, I started watching UFC, and UFC is something that even my parents like watching, because it is so it's very entertaining, and it's real life. It's not scripted. WWE scripted. Not really scripted. It's staged in a way, and it's all set up. It's promos, but UFC it's real shit.
They're trying to kill each other in that ring.
Yeah. Like they're fighting for some life right there. They're fighting for either money or gold, literally, or just to be over. Like in a way, it's mind blowing.
And that's what makes it so awesome.
It does. It really does. And I respect those fighters and that career path. That is just mind blowing how they put themselves through that for entertainment and for how much they love doing it.
Yeah.
Crazy to me.
Because it's a huge physical investment.
It really is.
I think it's the biggest physical investment, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting your body on the line. Those guys come out and their faces are rearranged.
Yeah. Noses are broken, eyes are messed up, blood everywhere. It's a disaster. Ears messed up. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Very, very nuts, for sure.
So is it kind of a getting older transition for you in a way?
Very getting older transition, watching it. My brother started getting into it even more, buying the pay-per-views, watching the pay-per-views. We'd go to Buffalo Wild Wings as a family because it'd be free pay-per-views.
Oh, fucking sweet.
Sit there and watch them. I love the Conor McGregor fights at Buffalo Wild Wings. They would dim the lights, do the whole show and all that. Such a great environment. It would be so much fun to do that as a family, you know? And so that's how we started watching UFC, is every UFC fight, we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings as a family and be fired.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun. And then we just started doing it at home and hanging out, making stuff at home, and it's fun.
Because most of the fight nights are on weekends, right? Mm-hmm. It's either a Saturday
or... Yeah. Saturdays or Fridays or whatever.
So that kind of became your weekly tradition with the family?
Yeah, dude. It became something that whenever they would come up, that's how we got together, and we would hang out a little bit. But we would always eat dinner together at the table, hang out, see each other. But those were the big times, being able to hang out. My weekly schedules, dude, Monday, for watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Friday.
Every week.
Religiously.
Yeah.
Religiously, dude. Wrestling comes on, I'm watching it.
There's no need to miss it.
I'm watching it. Yeah. I'm watching it. I'm a big fan, big supporter. Mondays, Tuesday, all those days, I'm watching the wrestling, the Monday Night Raw, NXTs, the Friday Night SmackDowns, and then the pay-per-views, sometimes even on Saturdays and Sundays. So my week is filled with wrestling and filled with my genuinely hobby that it's a hobby that I like watching. Something that I genuinely have always wanted to watch, and so that's why I love it so much. Yeah.
I love the whole sport, especially UFC. I'm a big fan.
Sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
Huge fan.
I've always loved watching. I've always loved playing the games as well on Xbox and all that fun stuff. Oh my god, yeah, I could get into that and play it for hours, dude. UFC. We've gotten into UFC, dude. Had some great matches for sure. UFC 4.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, for sure.
All I've known is a bunch of dubs, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, but that is one of my favorite games for sure.
Yeah.
And really, in general, I wasn't really huge in the video game series, but that's the one.
Yeah.
That is the one.
Got you hooked a little bit, yeah.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. I could play UFC all day, every day.
Yeah.
If it comes to MLB, even 2K, I don't really give a fuck.
Right. Exactly, yeah. It's
UFC's where it's
UFC. At. Dude, for me, WWE and UFC. That's what I'll be playing. Straight up. Those are my games I've consistently played. And I love when they go on sale. I love when they go on. I'm up and copping that so quick.
Save that extra 20 bones.
Oh, God, yeah, just to cop it, yeah. But these games are fun. There's something that whenever I have free time, I'll play. I'm not a big gamer, but I've always believed in taking time for yourself as well. And that is also, like I've said, like that time that you can just genuinely have to recuperate in a way.
Yeah, wind down time.
Exactly, for yourself.
Let your brain kind of relax.
Mm-hmm. And that's my time whenever I can just game, play that stuff, chill. Same with watching wrestling. And so that is something that I found myself doing a lot more in college now that I have free time. And so it's nice. It's for sure nice, yeah.
It's a good way to take up time too.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I wish I could start, well, I wouldn't say wish, but I want to start watching the pay-per-views for UFC and all that.
You'd enjoy them for sure. It's something that if you really start watching, you will get into them. And, even the prelims, they don't have the greatest build-up for, say, in UFC. They don't have the press conferences. They don't have the 5 rounds, you know. They're only going maybe 3 rounds, I think. And, but they're still interesting, I think. I genuinely sometimes will just put it on for the pay-per-views, and for like past pay-per-views, just watching the prelims, watching them fight. It's so cool, I think.
Once you've bought a pay-per-view, can you just
continuously? Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Good to know then.
Yeah.
It's kind of an investment.
Oh, for sure. It is an investment, yeah. And so, watching these fights, you hope they go long because you just... You want something that's going to be good.
Right. You're trying to get your money's worth.
Exactly. For sure. Yeah, for sure.
How long does a usual WWE tournament go?
So
or
Mondays...
fight night, I guess.
Yeah. Mondays are 3 hours. Fridays are 2 hours. And pay-per-views are 3 to 4 hours, I'm pretty sure. Some of them vary. We'll get sometimes a little longer. But that's it. Like 2 to 3 hours.
And does cost depend on prominence?
No cost for WWE.
It's free.
Free. Other than, pay-per-views are on Peacock. You can stream them a lot of places. A lot of places you can stream these pay-per-views that WWE has hosted. In the past, they have made it a paid subscription. You'd have to pay $20 a month for WWE Network.
Gotcha.
Hated it. Now they don't do it anymore. Now they put it on. They're coming to Netflix soon.
Really? That's a big deal.
They're coming to Netflix.
That is
soon.
A big deal.
That's even bigger. Yes.
Yeah.
They're about to make bank, I bet. Anyway, so many platforms you can watch it on. the Monday Night Raws, Tuesday night NXTs, Friday Night Smack, they're all free. You could literally watch them on YouTube as highlights. So whenever I don't catch them, I will literally pull up a YouTube video and it's completely free of 2 hours I could watch. I could watch the highlights. I could watch the full pay-per-view, everything.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I like about how accessible it is. And that's how, like...
Right, with that Netflix deal, it's going to get even bigger,
more
too.
accessible, yeah.
Yeah, because I do still think that WWE is kind of a smaller space.
Yeah.
When it comes to sports in general, and even the UFC, I think the UFC is a lot bigger than them at this point.
For sure. So, I'm not sure if UFC is on this new deal that WWE, TKO, and one more AEW. They signed a new promotion that they're all coming together. And
so
they're forming,
merger.
yes, they're forming together. And The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is one of the directors of the whole organization, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I've seen it on Instagram, kind of been watching YouTube about videos about it. Pretty cool. It's pretty interesting, and I'm curious what they're going to do with it. If they're going to make it more like UFC, or if they're going to make it more kind of scripted like WWE and more WWE promo-like, kind of like the indie scene with wrestling.
Right.
I'm curious how they're going to do it.
Dude, I'm sure The Rock's got something cooking.
Oh, that's the best way to put it, yeah. I bet he's cooking something for sure, and he's been back to the WWE now. So now that he's back in the WWE,
he's wrestling again?
He's not wrestling, but he's doing promos.
Okay. Yeah,
he's cutting promos in the ring with Roman Reigns, all those other guys. So he's back. He's doing stuff as a manager as well. So he's part of a business and in another business.
It's probably huge for the sport.
Oh,
and
for
I've
sure,
also,
having him, yeah.
I've also seen the stuff that they're doing. I know he might even own like the XFL or something like that.
That's
and he's doing a merger with them, I think, as well.
Yeah. He's doing everything now, dude. Yeah, he is getting a little taste of everything of life.
Yeah,
for sure.
Man. Talk about a great spot to be in your career.
Oh, 100%.
He's done all this work as a great actor.
100%.
And now he gets to use his money
exactly
for anything he wants.
Anything he wants.
Which is so cool.
Yeah. Yep. Made it in life.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to get to that point.
Man, I wish. I wish.
Come on.
Right.
I want to own myself a football league.
Yeah.
So with that,
I want to be
like Mark Cuban.
like that, yeah.
On the sideline of the Mavs game, like, get the motherfuckers.
Right, literally.
I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah.
If there was one thing
that
everyone listening that you would want to say, what would it be?
I would say doing one to others as you would want for yourself, no matter what. That is something that I've always been taught and having to always implement every single day, because you may not always be wanted to be told something, said something to, or you may have had not the greatest morning, or you may have done bad on assignment or whatever, and other people don't know that. And so going about your daily life and saying a compliment, saying one thing to someone, to brighten their day, being able to hold the door for someone, being able to do a little act of kindness, having that compassion with other people, being able to put yourself out there. That's what I want to say, is like, get out of your comfort zone a little bit,
Yeah.
That's something that not a lot of people do in their lives, is taking yourself out of your comfort zone, because it will make you realize so much about yourself and who you are. For me, that was talking about religion to other people. That puts me out of my little comfort box. Sometimes you don't want to have to share everything, or you're not comfortable with it, or you don't feel like you have as much knowledge, but you do.
Yeah.
And so being able to just communicate with that and talk about that and get that out, it builds who you are and gets you out of that box of comfort. And that's what I want people to realize, is getting out of that comfort zone, putting yourself out there, being someone who others can look up to in a way as well. That's what I want other people to realize, is that it takes time. It takes, it's not all about personality. It's just characteristics. And I think as well, like putting a smile on your face, saying hello.
Right.
Doing
just
those
general good habits.
General small things in life. And I think that's what builds happiness. It builds a great daily life every day of sense of fulfillment, sense of happiness, sense of who you are. And that's what I want to do every day in my life. I always tell myself I want to be 1% better every day. What I've done yesterday, I want to do better the next day.
Yeah, just a little bit of
a little
process.
bit better.
Progress.
I'm trying to think of something in my daily life. I am going to make sure I do my prayer on this time, or I'm going to go and help another person take their groceries out to their car that I didn't do yesterday that I'm going to do today. Doing those extra things and you thinking about it helps you grow and get you out of that box of comfort as well. And so that's what I want everyone to understand, everyone to hear me out. And I love that. I want people to realize that about me and realize that it's okay. It's okay to do that sometimes. And, it can be hard, but it's something that you should try every once in a little bit.
Right. Get out of your comfort zone
100%.
And be happy.
Yeah. Perfect.
And I think that's a perfect place to end.
Amazing.
As always, everybody, I want to throw out a big thank you to Big Smoke for showing up today. This has been a fucking great interview. Absolutely loved it. As always, thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Smoke Room. Peace.
See ya. Yeah.
But